Join us in part 2 as we discuss procedural best practices for engagement. Together, we'll ensure your providers meet regulatory standards and enhance participant outcomes.
Selecting and monitoring service providers, part 2. Selecting and monitoring service providers has some procedural written best practices associated with it, including first focusing on the service provider's ability to provide the necessary services to support the plan. Next, focus on the service provider's experience and expertise. Focus conversation around how to engage a service provider and ensure the plan expenses are fair and reasonable. This does not mean the cheapest, but it is interpreted to mean competitive to the marketplace. Plan advisors should be selected and monitored subject to the value that they can provide to the plan. When advisors and professional consultants hired by the plan to assist with management of the plan, typically they perform the following services. 1, investment due diligence and selection. Next, provider selection and plan benchmarking. And lastly, committee meetings. Also, plan advisors are generally financial registered representatives or investment advisors. Services do vary greatly from one plan advisor to another. So it's important that the plan fiduciaries make certain that the comparisons that they make are accurate, not only in time in terms of what services are provided, but to the degree to which competency, pervasiveness, and depth of services are provided. There's an action plan here that basically says review and complete the selecting and monitoring plan consultants documentation in the fiduciary fitness plan documentation modules. Providers are individuals or entities hired to provide administrative services to the client. These could include record keeper, third-party administrators, investment management companies. And depending on the services provided, these providers may or may not function as a fiduciary. As an action step, we suggest review and complete the selecting and monitoring providers documentation modules and periodically conduct a provider analysis. Auditors are service providers, employee benefit plans with 100 or more participants with a balance at the beginning of each year are required to have an audit as part of their obligation with the filing of their Form 5500. There is a small plan exemption for plans of less than 120 participants and assuming they filed as a small plan in the previous year. Or else 100 is the government for small plan definition. Plan sponsors, in conjunction with the plan administrator, should hire an independent, qualified public accountant in order to handle this annual audit for plans of 100 participants or more. Audits help protect the assets and the financial integrity of the plan and helps ensure the necessary funds will be available to pay retirement benefits. As an action step, we suggest you review the selecting and monitoring auditor documentation modules in the fiduciary fitness program and implement and conduct a documented process for selecting and monitoring all plan service providers.